It is a great day in SimWorld, everybody. Good morning and welcome to SimWorld Today. I'm B Ron. Alongside me, as always, is my co-host Yells. Good morning.
Hey man, it's one day closer. It's Thirsty Thursday. I'm gonna do some early morning drinking today. I'm ready to rock and roll, bro.
Hey, look, I'm ready to rock and roll too. Let's jump into it. So this morning we have joining us a guest. We have now almost Ethan Hooper, but no, Run DMV member now,
Ah,
Cam Jones. Good morning, Cam. How you doing, young man?
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm doing all right. Doing all right.
Good, good, good. Where do we have you calling in from this morning? You at school? What's the deal?
Right now I'm in the gym. Like right now, I just finished the workout. Just hopped on the car with you guys and ready to talk it with y'all.
All right. Well, good to have you here. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you as always. So, I got a few questions for you. Y'all's gonna have some for you as well. His might be a little bit more crazy than mine, but we'll see. We'll see. My
Right,
first one
I'm ready for it. I'm ready. I'm ready.
sounds good, man. My first one I got for you is how was your experience in your first season in SimWorld Prep?
It was slow in the beginning. In the beginning, I wouldn't necessarily. It was other people. It was other people around. It was other people
Yeah.
around that could do. That could do better than I could. In certain spots. But I just felt like I was more fitted for certain things that happened. And but I mean, things went the way they went. I got a little more playing time when Coach Banks came, and that kind of ultimately, but we'll get to that, But yeah,
Yeah, we will. We will. We sure will get into that. 'Cause that was actually my
yeah,
next question,
yeah.
believe it or not. Um, Leaving H Town to go to Run DMV with Coach Banks, was that a hard decision for you to make, or was that something you already kind of had in mind? Talk with him when he left to go to Run DMV. How did that whole thing kind of happen?
Oh yeah, yeah. We talked maybe a little bit towards the end of the season during the race to one, and so I mean it was hard leaving the crib. I mean, I still haven't yet got to went that way yet. I'm still at the crib as we speak. I'm still in Houston as we speak. But
Okay.
it was just the only really part that was hard was just me moving from here. But I mean, I wanted something better. And I feel like that was better. A lot of people probably, was, because of how the team was set up and the things that were to come,
Yeah.
with Coach Bellardi and this and the third. But
it sounds like Cam's trying to be a little PC here, man. As of right now, like he holding something in the tank. First off, man, B runs monopolizing all the time. We got one of my H Town guys here, so I want to say welcome to the show too, because regardless if you're hitting B Ron's hometown of the DMV or not now, which there's some fun activities if you can read between the lines in the
right,
DMV.
right.
But hey, we got that bond. He's not yours yet, B Ron. He's still H Town till the season starts.
Yeah,
That, that's
yeah.
So
fair. That's fair.
we're gonna jump right into it because it's already moved that direction. So Coach Bellardi joining the team, right? You already alluded to it. At the start of last season, you guys went through maybe like what 17, 18,000
Felt like it.
coaches. Um,
Right,
and
right, right,
I mean, you are a knockdown shooter. We've seen it. You got hot. You knocked down two, three, four threes in a row. Real streaky shooter. I love that part of your game. But we didn't get a chance to see that until halfway through the season. Then
right.
you get a new coach coming in. I don't know how much he communicated with you about what his plans were for you or not, but I'm just gonna say it, man. From the outside looking in, and normally I would have a little more insight because it's H Town, but I've been a busy guy. But from the outside looking in, it looked like new coach came in, new player came in, and you said I'm out. Was there anything there that you just didn't really jive with? Was there a conversation? Was it more? And I guess I'm kind of setting you up here. I don't want to set you up for that one. But you said Coach Banks you really have some trust in Coach Banks who was there and moving
Right.
on the DMV. But was there anything that you were put off by with H Town?
I mean, not. I mean, it had a lot to do with the fact we changed, like you said, we changed coaches so much, so nobody necessarily had a chance to see or feel everybody's game.
Mhm.
For as because we was mostly known for our paint presence with
Tyrell.
Tyrell Thompson and Aaron Payne and those names, and then you had Keaton Carter and Vincent Magic already. So I mean, those were the names when coaches came. They focused on them. They focused on how to move them, and we were just me and I can't remember his name at this point right now. Didn't move too much around, didn't move too much.
Yeah.
But anyways, like they didn't necessarily know our game because we were put to the back by the previous coaches.
So be wrong before you jump back in there. So
Yeah, go for it.
are you already, I don't, promise is probably a bad word, but you've already had these conversations with Coach Banks, I presume, and he's let you know that he's going to give you a more prominent role and or something of that nature.
Basically, it was he seen that I would progress more if I had the chances
Okay.
because I didn't necessarily have too many chances to do some game changing. I mean, I had games to where I sparked a little bit, where I had more time to hit the floor and do something. But that was most of the time when somebody else wasn't in with me to help me. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't have some background like I was used.
Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. So this isn't a question on my list, but it's something that came up as we were kind of talking about it here. So now that you're going to be playing with Run DMV this coming season, are there any players over there that you're looking forward in particular to teaming up with? Uh,
Oh,
Oh
B
yeah,
Run,
okay.
you
yeah, go
took
ahead.
my question, man.
Oh, because
Oh, very
I've
No,
been
it's
ready to
good. It's
answer
all
that
good.
question.
It's all good.
I've been ready to answer that question. Well, yes, Charles Pinker. Yes, yes. I believe I me personally. I don't know about the media and such and such who else, but me personally, I believe that me and Charles Pinker is going to be a duo to handle.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So are you looking forward? So you got I'm looking down your roster, and that's such and such. I'm assuming is going to be Rick Blaze. He calls you boys Walk DMV. If y'all haven't heard that and y'all need some bulletin board material, he said he's looking forward to you guys being Walk DMV this season. That's what he anticipates. Charles Pinkert, I just got to keep it real out here. That's what was said. So Charles
Right,
Pinkert, man, C Pink gets it done. He's a great shooter. We know you're a knockdown shooter. We haven't got a chance to see you guys handle the ball a whole lot. We know Trey Trust on you guys' squad is a
right, right,
knockdown shooter as well.
right, right.
The only real ball handler that we've seen or two on your team is John Hudgens, who's he's primarily been played at the big because he's so tall, so versatile. And then Nick Beal, who is he? I mean, let's be honest, he goes and gets his buckets. Has there been any talk about how that ball's gonna move or how it's gonna make its way to you guys, or y'all gonna be
Mm.
facilitating more? What's the talk there?
It's kind of been quiet on who's gonna be the well, how anything's gonna be ran, not necessarily because I mean, everybody got their talks of who's gonna be the number one guy, and I'm not nowhere in there, but it's okay. But I mean, I mean, everybody else done, they didn't have their chances to show, that they're able or capable, and I haven't, been able to have that chance yet. But I've shown myself, and I think that this season, me going with Coach Banks, kind of knowing
What you can do already.
what I'm capable of, I
Yeah.
feel like I'll be able to, show that to you guys this season.
Okay, and we looking
Yeah.
forward to it. I'm
Yeah,
looking
we
forward to
sure are.
saying B Run before I get back to you. Know I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
saying, "Damn, Cam." That's the line. Every time you knock down a three, I'd be in their ears, man. Damn,
Yes,
Cam.
sir. Yes,
Do
sir.
it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The final question that I have for you, and you may have already answered a few times here, but uh, what are you personally hoping to accomplish this season? This year you're 17 now. Looking forward to going on to college and that kind of stuff. Similar to you next season after this potentially. So what are you looking forward to getting done this season for you to help yourself get set up for colleges for next season? The season after this one, my apologies. Yeah.
I, really, I mean, shooting wise, I mean, I'm gonna continue to improve that game, but I mean, I want to get a more balanced feel, a more balanced skill set as
Yeah.
far as rebounding more, a little bit more defensive presence on the perimeter. Um, I want to be able to show that I'm the leader of wherever I go. Wherever I step my foot, I'm able to change the whole groove. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm probably signing to Houston right now while I'm talking, but I don't mean to do that.
Well,
Um,
look,
Okay, look, yeah,
I have a
if
question
anything,
about
Gus
that.
can translate, so it's fine.
I understand you wanting to. You've mentioned many times you want to showcase your skills. And that's all you kids do. That's what y'all want to get out there. Not a
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
lot of school prospects that we're hearing of as of now, but I know that you have your interests on where you would want to land in SimWorld U. Um, any place that's number one target for you, if you can make your pitch now, or where you're actually wanting to head to, that maybe has reached out to you or maybe has not reached out to you in terms of colleges.
um, they haven't reached it, but I want to. I mean, I kind of wanted to stay at home the whole way, but I mean, this chance came, and so, but I kind of want to go Houston
Houston.
or Texas, Houston or Texas.
All
Oh,
right,
okay.
well, scouts, if y'all listening, y'all make sure y'all make it out to the DMV. Um, B Ron will show you all the spots, and I can show you a couple of spots that are off the record that are not kid friendly. Um, and while y'all that's after you've checked out Cam Jones and Run DMV. B Ron, that's all I got, man. You got
Yep,
anything else for this young man?
that's all I got for you, Cam. Thank you again for joining us. We really appreciate your time, and take care, man. Good luck this
Good
season.
luck this season. We're looking forward to it. Damn, Cam.
Yes, I appreciate y'all for having me, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. Take care.
All right,
All
man.
right, man.
Hey,
Pleasure having Cam on.
yeah. He's
Let's
I
go
think I
ahead, go
think
ahead.
he's gonna do some big things. The funny thing is we're moving on to this segment here. We talked about Cam Jones leading the way for that team, or at least
Right.
that's something. He seems humbled, knowing hey maybe he's not the number one there, but he's gonna be able to showcase his skills more than last season. Um,
Yeah.
but the talk is whose team is Run DMV? That's been kind of the recent discussion. And
Yeah.
is it Nick Beal's team? There's no Nick Hugo there anymore. Uh,
No,
there's
they've
no
replaced Knicks.
there's no Coach Murray there running that who steps up offense. Uh, whose team is it? Is it Nick Beals who played very well last season? He can obviously score, but is he ready to step up and lead this team, B-Ron?
I don't know about that at the moment. I like what I saw from Beal last season, but I don't know if he's ready to step up and be the number one guy, if you will. That term's gotten thrown around so many times this offseason, and I don't know how much longer I can stand to talk about it. But here we are. It is what it is.
10
I
points a
don't.
game in 19 minutes with Rain Trays last season. So,
Yeah.
but before you get to you, I will say I think he stepped away from that team playing with having to share the ball with Jafet Towns and
Right.
Kevon Jackson and Jason Crosser and at times Weapon X. But in 20 minutes, 10 points, shot 43%. He can knock down the three. He can create his own shot. 2 assists a game, not bad at all. Um, so I think he was at least told at some point that he would be a primary option.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I could see him being one of the primary options. But as far as being the de facto number one leading option, that I don't know, and I'm not too sure about that yet. It might be a committee, by committee thing over
And why?
there.
Why? What's your reservation? I'm putting you. You're gonna have to put it on the line today, B. Ron.
Yeah, no,
Why?
no. So I think my biggest thing is they have a lot of players who can do different things, and all of them can use their skills to have an impact on the game in big ways. We talk about guys like John Hudgens coming back, tall, 6'10", a surprisingly good ball handler for a kid his size. VJ George returning to the team. Obviously, Cam Jones is there, Pinkard's there, Trey Trust returning, Singleton there. So I feel like they have a lot of different kids in the team that can all contribute in significant ways.
You
So to have one person say, "Yeah, you're gonna be the main guy," I don't know how that works.
I'll say
It's
this
not
really
like
quick.
you have a. It's not, I'm sorry. It's not.
No,
It's
no, no.
not,
Go
not
ahead.
like you have a Pet Towns on the team who you can look to and say, yes, for sure, this is the guy. I don't think Run DMV has that.
I agree.
And that's, no bias here. They don't have that guy.
Hey,
Go ahead.
I'm gonna agree. I can't this. I'm not gonna argue with anything. The crazy. I wanted to say this real quick because it may sound crazy, and it's one
Yeah.
of those mornings where I don't mind sounding crazy. Um, Despite what they were able to do last season by committee, with
Mhm.
everybody getting opportunity under Coach Murray, I still would say that I don't think we've seen everything that some of these players had to offer because of
Right.
that team first
Yeah.
approach. And I like when I look down this roster, if I exclude Nick Beal, who we know can go get a bucket, if we exclude Cam Jones and Charles Pinker, who I think if they get hot, like they can, man, they'll set the Nets on fire. So I think we'll see some big things from them. I absolutely agree and believe when Cam Jones says they're going to surprise some people, but John Hudgens, y'all know I've been a fan of his since day one. I call him a docile man, Scottie Pippen, and we know Scottie Pippen was already docile, so it's fair. But I think he fits that mold. B.J. George, we haven't found out what he is. He's a great playmaker. Malik Duffin is 6'9" and he shoots like a guard. I saw things from him last year that I was thoroughly impressed, and I think at times Keith Singleton defensively
Yeah.
took over the game
Yes.
defensively. So I think there's a good mixture of stuff here where Rick Blaze is tearing these kids apart, or not the kids, the team apart as far as saying what they may or may not be able to. Let
To
me say,
do and
let me
all
not
that.
say may or may not. He says what they're not going to be able to do, which is run. I think they're actually better built to run up and down that court this season. No Brandon Smith, but I think they're better built to be run DMV this season than they were last season with the shooters, the defense,
Everything they
and the
have, yeah.
length. Yeah,
Mhm.
they may not have the motor of Nick Hugo, but I think they have some skilled pieces if Coach Banks can really put this into a symmetry and get it running the way he wants. So.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely agree with you 100% there. Let's talk about Cole Webb though. Cole Webb, you know, he's now with Showtime
Step
in the
into
bright
the
lights.
light.
Yep, in the
Step
bright
into the
lights of
light,
LA, man.
Cole.
The question is, can he handle the bright lights of LA? Coming from Sydney, Australia, playing for SimWorld Oceania last season, making the move to come to LA. He said he wanted to come to a bigger market. He's got his chance to do it. Uh, so what do you think, man? What do you think?
You remember the old Kool Aid commercial back in the day? Or you ever seen anybody run that back with the Kool Aid man?
The
Maybe
one
not. He busts through
I'm
the
thinking about,
wall, and here's what he
yeah,
would say. Oh yeah, oh yes. I absolutely, or it could be
yep,
Macho Man
yep,
Randy
I
Savage,
remember.
either one. Oh yeah.
Yep,
Absolutely think Cole Webb is ready for the light. He's asked for it
yeah,
repeatedly. So I'm gonna take him at his word, and his game says that he can stand up to the light. So I think so. When we talk about the light, there's two ways to look at that. That's somebody putting a spotlight on your game and giving you all the praise and all of that, and you getting to be the not the one man show, but the focal point of the team. When I look up and
right.
down at that roster, I think he is that. He will be the focal point and the centerpiece for this team. Um, but on the other side of that, I think he was the centerpiece last season. I don't really see what's different about doing it in LA than it is doing it in Oceania, except for
The
diff
magnitude of the moment.
the magnitude of the moment, I guess. But he's already really had this. His games were already broadcasted on national TV. The only downside is I think now he's gonna have to. If it doesn't go so well, that's how light works, right? If things are
Yeah,
not magnified under the light and you're not shining, the scrutiny is gonna be a lot more. So I think we're gonna find out how
exactly.
he handles that this season.
Yeah, yeah,
And
and that's been my issue the whole time with the whole thing. I've said my piece on it, so I'm not gonna go too much into that. But I think that he'll embrace it and he wants it, but I don't know how he's gonna handle it if it doesn't go like he thought it was gonna go, or if he's not able to, or he has a bad game or whatever. Because then all those kind of questions start when you have a bad game and you're in a big market like LA.
hey, like
So
I said, Macho. I think he's gonna be the Macho Man, Randy Savage. Oh yeah. If the only thing that matters in the Showtime is that he can get the ball, dig it, Yeah, you see, I think he's gonna be all right, man. I think he's gonna be all right. Let's just
Yeah.
hope. Let's just hope that he performs well every night. That's all I'll say.
Right. Yeah.
That's all I'll
Exactly.
say.
On my hands of hey. We'll see. We'll see, man. But look, speaking of embracing the lights, all the scrutiny that comes with that, there's also the other side of it, and winning, because winning is important. But this is prep basketball, so in your opinion, how much does winning really matter? If you want me to start, I will start first.
Hey, man, it's whatever.
All right, cool. Let me go ahead and take it first then. So I really don't think it matters at all. and I, and I say that purely because right now at this level, you were talking about, again, 15, 16, 15, 16, 17-year-old kids. Some of them are learning the game at a very foundational level right now, and it's all about honing those fundamental skills and getting all those things ready for that next level. So, in my opinion, winning carries no weight, or it shouldn't carry any weight. That doesn't mean we shouldn't have, race to one championship and all of that. I'm not saying we don't do any of that, but I'm saying that there shouldn't be as much stock put into winning as it is about developing these players' skills for the next level, where winning is going to matter more, and then more at the pro level.
Be
Those are
wrong.
my thoughts.
I don't know if you just kind of tapped into my logic there, or what. I agree one
I wrote it
thousand
off, even
million
wrote off. Yeah, yeah,
bajillion percent. Um, when you said it doesn't matter at all, I know what you meant. It it is second, third, secondary, tertiary, whatever the
tertiary.
phrase is.
Yeah.
It's not paramount. And I've seen a lot of these kids. Oh, just win. No, how about you get better? Get better. Winning is a byproduct of getting better.
Hmm.
There's a lot of kids we watch right now in the NBA that, guess what? Their team won. They wanted that big contract. They got that big contract. They go to some other team where they're now the guy because they won. And now we find out that they are exposed and they are not skilled like we thought they were. Get better. I mean, you said everything eloquently. There's not a whole lot for me to add to that other than it's not the primary thing. It's not even the primary thing for a coach. This is a foundational level. You guys have a long way to go. If you're getting better, if you're not getting better, you don't have long to go at all. You will be the next Sebastian Telfair. Not even that. You'll be some of these kids that were high school megastars, and guess what they did? They won and they looked good, but they did not get better. So the highlight of their life and career was us talking about how cold of a high school player they were. Don't be
Hmm.
that guy. Get better.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Hey man,
100%. Yeah.
we had some teams getting better yesterday.
Yeah, we did. We
We had
did.
some teams making some moves. Commitment craze is still going on, and it's still a little crazy. It's still a little crazy. Who were some of the major moves that still happened yesterday for you, or more notable excuse me, more notable moves that stood off the paper for you?
Yeah. So AT Aliens getting Trayvon Patrick
Took a
was
long
one
time.
of the more notable ones
Took a
that I
while, didn't
saw
it?
yesterday. Yeah, and I like it purely because we talk about it all the time, keeping these kids either in state or in the area. And this is another good pickup for the ATLians. He's from Georgia, so good to have that talent on your team and continue to build that pipeline perhaps to those Georgia schools. Georgia, Georgia Tech. So having him there is just gonna continue to help build that relationship between the ATLians and those Georgia colleges. So that's good.
Yeah, I mean that's the same one for me.
Yeah.
I don't really have much. That's the same move for me. That's a major move. I don't know what options he was contemplating, what took so long, but he finally made his way, and he gets to
Mhm.
stay home. And hey, man, quiet as kept. ATL is looking pretty good. Where everybody wants to call them just a ragtag bunch of guys that Royce Anderson's going to go put up 1,000 shots. Um, they're not looking bad. I feel like the TRB is going to be jumping.
It always is though, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It
It
is.
always is, man.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Hey, look, speaking of jumping, we got to jump on out of here. We've been here long enough. Thank you guys for joining us this morning. We appreciate it as always. It's been a wonderful time. Thank you again to Cam Jones joining us this morning. And with all that being said, you guys remember, SimWorld's the only place where you can see the game, be the game. We'll see you tomorrow.